Okay guys, so I'm continuing on with this engine overhaul here. I want to point out a couple of things. I honed this first cylinder a little bit. I'm not done honing it yet, but you can see I've honed this cylinder. I wanted to see if it was going to have any places where it didn't hone out. You can see a couple of places, well actually it's really one place way down at the bottom down there, and I'm not really worried about that. I found a set of Speed Pro, I think it's Speed Pro zero gap rings. So I'm going to go with a set of zero gap rings for this thing. It's a little bit more expensive, but I've had a lot of good luck with those zero gap rings, especially in my race cars and stuff like that. So that's what I'm going to go with here. You can see the gap in that ring. As you can see, it's it's well within tolerance, even with the 157,000 mile ring. It's still in great shape. I took the Ballinger shaft out of it. I'm going to take the cam out of it. I'm going to go ahead and take this thing apart completely, and I'm going to get a cam tool and lift that cam out of there. But I'm really happy about the way this thing has turned out. All the bearings, all the main bearings look like this. I mean, this thing, it doesn't seem to have hardly any wear on it at all. And I'm not surprised with the way this thing ran. This thing ran like brand new, so I never really had any trouble with it as far as that goes. But this is where I'm at. I'm honing the cylinders out now. I'm going to order the zero gap rings, and I've got to clean the ring lands and the pistons real good. Get those things like new again, brand new, clean, and then we'll put the rings in this thing, and I'm going to polish the crank myself. And I said I was going to send this thing to the machine shop and have it surfaced, but I think I'm okay. I'm going to surface this thing myself, and same way I did the Jeep. The Jeep had 190,000 miles on it when I did it. I'll use a different type of gasket. I'll probably go with a 30 thousandths thickness gasket on this thing in case there is any warpage. That'll take care of it. That's what I did with the Jeep, and I had good results. So I've been driving it now for 2 years and haven't done anything else to it. So this is where we're at. It's just a matter of time of getting this thing done now, man. Hopefully I won't run out of time before they blow the freaking world up. Crazy people. But everything looks good, man. I'm gonna mic the rods and use my die calipers and mic the rods and make sure they're not out of round. I'll mic the crank, and I'll polish the crank with some 1500 grit Scotch-Brite, and maybe do a little chamfer work on the oil galleys. We'll see how much time I have, but I need to get this thing going, man. I need to get this thing back together. So this is where I'm at, and time marches on. So anyway, again, this thing is in great shape. I'm not going to have to put new pistons. I'm not going to have to put a new cam or camshaft. I mean, lifters or camshaft. Balancer bearings are good. So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting this thing cleaned up and getting it back together. All right, guys, everybody have a great day, a great weekend, and we'll holler at you later. Okay, so coming along here with this engine deglazing, the cylinder deglazing. A couple things I wanted to point out. You can see what I'm trying to eliminate here. Okay, if you look right here, you can see where that glaze breaker is not hitting the cylinder wall right there. Okay, that's what you don't want to see right there. Excuse me, but it's coming along good. I could not find my finish hone. The finish hone will it's not going to eliminate that, but it'll take the glaze off of it. That's why you always want to use a glaze buster or a brake hone first, because it's going to tell you how true your cylinder is whenever you do your cylinder deglaze. You'll be able to see these low places in the cylinder. See, this has got a tiny one here too with a little bit of a score on the cylinder wall right there. This is just stuff on the cylinder, but That's what we're trying to eliminate right there when we're deglazing these cylinders. We're trying to make sure that this is not, this is, I'm going to go with this, okay? Because I don't want to spend another $800 on this block and this engine. If I was building a race car or something that I expected to last 150,000 miles, I would take this down and have this thing rebored, new pistons and all that crap. I'm not going to do that. This is going to be a re-ring, and I'm going to use the Speed Pro zero gap ring and Clevite bearings. I'm going to go back with the good quality parts, and I'll probably get 100,000 miles out of this with the tolerances as close as they are. So, being that it's a daily driver, it's not a race car, it's just, you know, something that we tool around in, it'll be good. Another thing I like to use is Tap Magic. A lot of people use all kinds of crap whenever they're doing a cylinder deglaze. I like to use this stuff right here. It cuts real well and possibly extends the life of my stones. But I don't know, it seems to work real well, so that's what I use. I guess that's about it. I've got 3 cylinders that I've deglazed a little bit. I'm going to work on them a little bit more. I don't want to do it too much because then I'll be losing my clearances if I go too much. So I'm going to work on this one a little bit more, and maybe this one just a little bit more. This one's okay, but yeah, this is what we got. And whenever you're doing these, guys, whenever you're doing a cylinder deglaze, you need to move that brake hone up pretty fast. You know what I mean? Don't hold it in one area. Always keep that thing moving. I mean, always. And even when you're finished, just pull it out and let it just spin, because you don't want to hold this thing in one place because you'll lose your crosshatch in your finish, and you don't want to do that. When I get that finish hone, I'll come in here and do a really good crosshatch on these cylinders, and this thing will be good to go. So it's looking good. It's a lot of damn work, man. I'll tell you. I had to take a day off because I just can't do this shit anymore, man. I think this is going to be the last engine I rebuild. I say that now, but you know, next year I'll be rebuilding the freaking Jeep. I got to tear the carbs off my motorcycle because I let it sit too long. So it's never ending, man. So my God, man, it's just more than I can do. So all right. I guess that's about all I got right now. I'm waiting on the degreaser to come in. Degreaser gets here, I'll probably be finished with the cylinders, and then I'll clean this thing up real well. I'm going to pull the cam out of it. Haven't done that yet. Clean this thing up real well and paint it and start putting it back together. Got a lot of cleaning to do. So, alright guys, that's all I got. Everybody have a great weekend again. I know I said that once already, but have a great weekend. We'll talk to y'all later. Peace out.